Brian Daboll, head coach of the Giants, the Monday back from the bye week, announcing to the world what had been leaked earlier that morning. Daniel Jones benched, Drew Lock ignored, Tommy DeVito promoted. And I have to give the Giants some credit. If this would have been the Cowboys, you know what would have happened? It would have been leaked on Sunday during the pregame shows while all of the other games were being discussed. They would have dropped that into the punch bowl to try to suck some of the oxygen out of the room. The Giants successfully kept their plan to themselves throughout the bye week, and then Monday morning it was initially leaked strategically like it always is. Got to keep the media friendly to us, so we help them do their jobs, and they'll maybe not call for ours to be terminated. And then it's announced to the world that it goes from Jones to DeVito. Devin will be back here to do something at his house, but until then, you're stuck with me. Sorry. The Daniel Jones side of it is not a surprise. We said on Football Night in America last Sunday night, Chris and I talked about this yesterday, getting ahead of what we think the trend will be, what the news will be. Daniel Jones is getting benched at some point because, number one, he hasn't been good. Number two, he's got $23 million in injury guarantees for next year. If he suffers a serious injury down the stretch that lingers into next year, $11 million of that $23 million becomes fully guaranteed in March. If he can't pass a physical by then, they're stuck with the 11. If he can't pass a physical by the start of the regular season, they're stuck with the rest of it. So they know they're done with him after this year. The way his contract was designed, it was a 2-year deal. Year to year after that, they're making the decision in advance that they're done. We won't see him again this year, barring some strange turn of events that would give the Giants no other choice but to put him on the field. So that part of it, we knew. That part of it, we could have predicted. And I have regret that I didn't plant a flag late in the week. We kind of forgot about the Giants. We tend to forget about the teams that are on bye. I wish I'd written over the weekend, hey, get ready, because we're probably going to find out early next week that Daniel Jones has been benched. Now, what I wouldn't have been ready for, although there was a hint, there was a vague hint. There was a weird item on ESPN.com a couple of weeks ago that was kind of promoting Tommy DeVito in advance, and they skip right over the guy they paid $5 million to come in and be the backup to Daniel Jones, Drew Lock. And if Drew Lock wasn't good enough to be number 2, then Tommy DeVito would have been number 2. There's a message sent by the hierarchy of the depth chart. Daniel Jones 1, Drew Lock 2, Tommy DeVito 3. We're going to forget about that. We're going to disrupt the chain of football command and go straight to Tommy DeVito. And this is simple to me. This is the Giants trying to give their fans reasons to show up for the 4 remaining home games on the tail end of a lost season. And anybody that's gone to football games knows it's harder to go to football games in December. You got to put on more clothes. You got to find hand warmers. You're going to be miserable out there. No matter what you do, you're going to find a day where you're out there saying, why did I come out here? So if there's a reason to stay home or give the tickets away, sell the tickets, whatever, you're more likely to do it. But now, Tommy Cutlets is back. Now, we want to go watch Tommy Cutlets play. Make America gabagool again. Let's do it, baby. So that's why the Giants are doing it. There's no other reason for it. Otherwise, DeVito already would have been number 2 on the depth chart. Period. This is not a football decision. I thought it was funny last week when Joe Shane, the GM of the Giants, said, whatever we do with Daniel Jones is going to be a football decision. Baloney! It's not a football decision. It's a business decision. Because Jones was your starting quarterback. You're ripping him out of that job, not because he's not your best option to win games. You're ripping him out of that job because you got $23 million that you might lose if this guy suffers any type, pick your injury, spin the wheel, serious injury roulette. You're out $23 million. That's why they're doing it. They don't want to admit it because they don't want the fans to think they're doing anything but putting the best product on the field. And then they deliberately don't put the best product on the field. They go with the guy that is the step right up and watch Tommy do this. Come out and pay your money and buy all the expensive food so you can see Tommy Cutlets do that. That's what it is. It's a show. It's entertainment. Let's not get so caught up in wins and losses that we lose sight of the bigger prize here, and that's money. It's entertainment. We as Americans have so many different things we can do with our dollars. You could buy some books if you'd like to. I have some available. But we're all competing for the discretionary income. You got to give people a reason to keep spending their money. All right, here's Brian Daboll on why they, and we know why. We know why they made the change now. Here's Daboll with his official explanation as to why it happened now.
We're obviously not playing the way any of us want to play, and that's on all of us, but felt like this was a decision that we needed to make here and try to spark things, change things up. And, we went and did it with Tommy. Again, we spent a lot of time here over the last week of evaluating a lot of things and just felt like this was the best thing for us.
Usually the backup gets the call and not the number 3 guy. Why, flipping over him to go to Tommy?
Yeah, I understand the question. Again, I got a lot of confidence in Drew, the way he's handled himself since he's been here, and he handled this well too, being a professional. Again, Tommy, we've been with Tommy here for a little bit. He's done a nice job, I would say, throughout practices here, but also you have something to lean on by going back and watching him operate some of our stuff from last year. This is no indication on Drew whatsoever. He's been excellent for us. It was more about what I felt Tommy gave us.
It's funny when Daboll says, yeah, I understand the question. Well, yes, you understand the question. I think that's just a device for not getting pissed at the question. Like, I really wish I didn't have to answer this question. I understand why they're asking. I understand the question. I'd rather not give the answer. And there's a good chance the answer is that the decision was made by somebody other than the guy who set the depth chart, somebody other than the head coach of the team. This is a business move. This is hey, Brian, you may not agree, but we got a business to run here, and we got 4 more games, and we want people to show up for these games as we play out the string. And we roll into Dallas on Thanksgiving. That's not a home game, but the league kind of, wants to have big ratings on Thanksgiving. Maybe we get a little more interest and excitement if it's Tommy DeVito versus Drew Lock. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.